Welcome everyone to Chosen Live number 44. I am hoping and praying that didn't cut any of that out. I'm hoping it caught all of it. Got ourselves a nice little trailer here. Now, I did say in the past that I would be doing this for when trailers drop. I know I used to film my reactions. Okay, I think I'm back. Okay, don't worry about it, ladies and gentlemen. It's just a technical hitch. It'll all be all right. 1 second. There we go. I think I'm all good. Now, I did say, so excuse the last 20 seconds of technology BS. Back to my point. I did say that when trailers dropped, this is exactly what I'd be doing. I'd be doing live streams just so I can react to it on air and then I can break it down as I go through it and all that kind of jazz. And this is out of all the new projects that were announced, out of all the shows that were like when we think back, when we cast our minds back to when She-Hulk was announced, Miss Marvel, Loki, Falcon and Winter Soldier, and Hawkeye, and whatever. Like, I was excited for Falcon and Winter Soldier because Bucky and Sam are two of my favorite characters in the MCU. Love those two, and they have a great synergy, a great dynamic, a buddy cop series. Hell yeah. Hawkeye, I was like, right, my boy's finally going to get some shine. It's about damn time. But Moonknight was the one that caught my interest. Now, if you know Moonknight, Moonknight is essentially the Batman of Marvel. And the reason I say that is not because he's literally Batman, but he's a different approach to Batman. Batman uses the elements of the darkness to attack his enemies. Moonknight wants you to see him coming. He wants you to see him. And I'm so excited for what this means going forward now that we have Daredevil back in the fold. We've got Blade incoming. We've got Morbius with the connected Sony universe. Undoubtedly, there's going to be Punisher probably brought back in. We're exploring the darker elements of the MCU, and I'm really excited to where that's going to go. So without any further ado, let's pull the trailer up, and then I'll get to the chat. And well, hang on, before you know what, I'll do that right now. Before I get to the trailer. CVO, what's up, dude? Laterite, Abbas, how are you all doing? Margot, what's up? Oh, I need to watch your thing, by the way. But much love to you. Tristan, what's up, my dude? Jacob's a ghost. For 20 seconds, yeah. Maybe I'm Moonknight. Hey, Fancaster, how you doing, bro? The weird one. The Moonknight show looks very dark. Yes, that's exactly what it's going to be. Virtual hug. Back at you. That is exactly what... And I'm here for street level heroes. Not only because I can use their songs in the gym, but also... and their montages. But also, I just feel like they're the most relatable for me, personally. I love those kind of characters. Right. Now, I'm hoping my laptop will play ball. Hey, Alvin, what's up, dude? Okay. I really need to upgrade this computer. I really do. Right. Let's plug this in. Let's watch the trailer for Moonknight. Oh, man. It's going to be great. Okay. Let me just something up here real quick. Okay. All right. Here we go. Any minute now, once this thing wants to load. Come on. Oscar Isaac, man. What an actor.
Hello, and welcome to Staying Awake.
I have a sleeping disorder. I can't tell the difference between my waking life and dreams.
Hello, and welcome to Staying Awake.
Holy shit. Oh, great song.
Real catch you are. You're bloody useless, Stevie.
Stephen. I can't tell the difference between knife and dreams.
Oh, I love that voice.
Thank you.
Oh, that's sick.
Lost the contact lens.
Hope you find it.
Thanks.
Oh, Oscar's gonna nail this, I'm telling you.
Hold the phone. Hold the phone. Now hold the phone.
What's your favorite
Yeah.
scary movie?
Oh my god, you're alive. What's wrong with you, Mark?
Why did you call me Mark? It must be very
Split
difficult.
personalities. Oh, it's him.
Voices in your head. There's chaos in you.
I'm looking forward to this show, man. I think it's gonna be so good.
Embrace the chaos.
Oh. Oh, that was sick. Hey, that was sick. I'm rewinding that a little bit. That jump, that was sick. Oh. Oh, that was good. Oh, that was good. I like that. Oh, shit, that was good. I like that. That is good. Hey, Darius, what's up, my dude? I'll check it soon, Margot. Nah, this show's gonna be I'm telling you, this show's gonna be good. Oh, this is good. Oh, this is good. I really like this trailer. Day and night. Oh, even the song choice, man, it's perfect. Honestly, I love this. Gives me hope, right? That going forward, they're going to allow characters that are dark characters to be dark characters. Like, I don't want to see, you know, certain characters, i.e., street level, reduced to fart jokes. Like, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see Moonknight wisecracking every 2 seconds. I want Moonknight to be the Batman of the MCU. I want him to be bad to the bone. Like, I want this dude to be insane. I want him to be nuts. Oh my god, that trailer's so good. I love the way it opens up. Just simple shot from above the ceiling downwards, playing with a Rubik's Cube that we all cheated with. No one ever completed a Rubik's Cube. If you did, you're lying. I love the aesthetic of this trailer as well. It's very simple.
Hello.
Like, it doesn't try to be anything more than what it is. I think it's gonna be very dark, very grounded, and there's a lot of mental nature at play here. With Mark Spector. Like, he's insane. Like, I think that's gonna be the thing of balancing, himself versus Moonknight, like trying to balance those two things. I think that's going to be the focal point of this show. This was the one that I was most excited for. Like, Moonknight, I mean, come on, that's a staple in my Marvel Ultimate Alliance team. That is a staple. Moonknight was the shit. Oh god, honestly, I love the way this trailer pans out.
Staying awake.
I have a sleeping disorder.
He has a sleeping disorder. I think that's also something that a lot of people can relate to as well. That's one thing that these shows have in common, is the theme of relatability, and the sleep disorder element is a key component to his character, because Moonknight, quite literally, as I said, he is the Batman of Marvel because he is up during the night. Like, the nighttime is his playground, and he will do whatever he has to do. And he has, I think, this multiple identity thing, and gaps in memory about past events or present. So he's sort of like in a transcendent state. Who is Mark? Mark Spector. That's his character. So he's in like a transcendent kind of state, and he almost has a split personality. It's how can I best describe it? I think it's more of DPD. I think it is. Is it dissociative personality disorder? I think that's what it is. But Mark Spector, like his journey throughout the comic books is insane, and I cannot wait to see what they do with this on the screen. I think Oscar Isaac is going to absolutely nail it in this role, and I think he's going to be absolutely incredible. This is the perfect kind of show for him, the perfect kind of show. And one thing I will say regarding Moon Knight is like he's a very aggressive fighter, like very old school, very like bare knuckle. Like if you think Winter Soldier and Cap going at it is brutal, like if they reach the level that I'm expecting, this is going to be literally just think of Batman and BVS or Batman in the Robert Pattinson one. Like just think of that when Batman's pounding that dude down on the ground. Like that's what this can be for the MCU. Because as great as the MCU is, and I know everyone loves the fantastical nature of it, the superpowers and the visual effects. For me personally, as much as the visual effects are great, you know, I love stories like Falcon and Winter Soldier. I love stories like Spider-Man. You know, I know Spider-Man has powers, but you know what I'm saying? Like he is the average kind of person. Movies like Batman Begins, I was watching that the other day. Like there's something about characters like this that I really think resonate with so many people. Yes, it creates multiple identities. I encourage those who want to know more about readers. Yes, if there is one Marvel character I can recommend highly for his comics, it's Moon Knight. Shout out to the people that knew Moon Knight before this show. Honestly, Moon Knight's always been one of my favorites. Not A tier, but I've always had him in like the B category, where a character like he's not a character that I'm like dying to see, but he's someone that I'm like, you know what, if he does appear, it'd be pretty cool. It'll be pretty cool. I would be there for it. And I'm looking forward to this. I really am looking forward to this. I know Spider-Man isn't aggressive. I'm just saying characters who are grounded in that kind of nature. That's what I meant. They're clearly going with a lot. I think they're keeping a lot of true to a lot of his backstory. You know, I think in the main form and medium, he was, you know, born in the US, as most of the superheroes are. He was the son of a rabbi who, as a child, who'd managed to escape Nazi prosecution. And it was literally just like that kind of storyline involving the Jewish, and there's a lot of social commentary with his story as well. And I think they will dive deep into that. But there is a part of his journey where, you know, he approaches, I think, was it the Egyptian deity Khonshu? I think that's his name. Is it Khonshu? And that's it's basically long and short of how he gets his powers. Like, isn't it a bit ironic though? Sorry, need one of these. That's what happens when you're talking a lot. Is Oscar Isaac played Apocalypse and transformed in a pyramid. He's playing Moon Knight. He's going to transform in a pyramid. But I think his father's death is what really hit him the most. And, you know, I think after hearing Khonshu's voice, he runs away. Like, there's so many details to his character. Like, I'm trying to like remember it all because there are a lot of comics that I read of Moon Knight. Moon Knight was a character that I really, really enjoyed because he was someone that no one ever talked about. He was someone that no one ever really knew. Like, obviously, you knew your staples, like your Spider-Man, your Hulk, your Avengers, your X-Men. But Moon Knight was never really known by everyone. But for me, man, I gotta tell you, I've always been a huge fan of Moon Knight, and he was, as soon as they announced that there was a show in the works for him, I was like, hell yes, yes, please. Exactly. He's a foil, yeah. Daredevil is Catholic and Mark is Jewish, and they use a lot of that Catholic element in Daredevil's character as well. So I would not be surprised if the Jewish element plays a huge part of his character. I think in one of the comics he moves to New York with, I think, someone called Frenchie. But he has like a lot of mental problems, like a lot of like his mental state is just like all over the place. And Moon Knight allows him to channel it into a constructive kind of route. He does a lot of investigating in deaths and all that kind of stuff. So there are a lot of parallels to Batman. He's like, if Batman and Daredevil were a mixture, like that's the way I personally see it, is they are a mixture. And he also joined the West Coast Avengers. Like, I mean, you know, with the amount of characters there are in the MCU now, multiple teams are 100% a thing. And I do believe that is where they're going with all these kind of characters, especially bringing in Moon Knight. You gotta do it. And you've got Hawkeye still out there. I know Kate is going to become Hawkeye, but you've still got Clint, so you can still have him usher in Moon Knight. You got Daredevil out there, you got Kingpin, you've got all these grounded characters like really coming through to set up that kind of team. That's what I would really like. I'm just trying to find something. There's a bit of information that I had before I wanted to bring up. Because there's a lot of stories involving Moon Knight. There's a lot of... Hang on. I want to try and find some... Hang on. Let me tell you guys his specific powers. Right, here we go. So his notable aliases. So obviously Stephen Grant Jake, Lockley Fist of Khonshu's Inner Child, and Mr. Knight. That's usually his main ones. But his abilities is he's proficient in martial arts, as you can tell by the punching in the trailer. And also, just because this words it better. And armed combat utilizes high-tech equipment, formally increase strength, speed, and endurance depending on the lunar cycle. So Moon Knight's whole thing is he's really connected to the moon. Like when it's a full moon, this dude's kicking your ass. Like that is integral. That is very, very integral. And his strength greatly depends on the moonlight. That's where he gets most of the source of his power. It's almost like Silver Surfer, where he gets most of the power from his board, which is from Galactus. Moon Knight. All right, Alvin, take care, bro. Everyone raise a toast. But literally, that's essentially what happens, But whenever there is extreme moonlight, this guy can be a real loose cannon. Like the more moonlight there is, the stronger he is. Very mystic. Like it's very mystic. That's what I mean. It's still got that supernatural, fantastical nature, but at the same time, it's still got that grounded reality. Like I really love that. Let's get to the next bit.
I can't tell the difference between my waking life and dreams.
See, this is the split personality, right? He's mentally gone. See that he just wakes up as someone else completely different. That's why he chained himself down to the bed. And that song choice is perfect. Say what you will about Marvel, but the casting and their song choices are brilliant.
I'm losing it.
Falling asleep on the train, I think it's more related to that.
We'll catch you on. You're bloody useless, Stevie.
Stephen.
She's a pain.
I can't tell the difference.
That there was sick. You guys catch that? But it's almost like what Venom was doing. Any reflection you would see it. Look there, bang, sees it. It's almost as if it's creeping up on him. So I really wouldn't be surprised, if there's moments where he forgets that he has this power.
Between life and dreams.
He's a very complex character. Like this is a character that, as cool as he is very, very dark. Like there is a lot of dark nature to him, especially that bit there, just coming down the bloody hallway there. Coming this March. Oh, I can't wait. Probably going to be 6 episodes, I reckon, as they usually are.
Hold the phone. Now hold the phone.
Yeah.
Oh my god, you're alive. What's wrong with you, Mark?
Why did you call me Mark?
Yeah, see, this is it. Split characters.
Very difficult. The voice.
2 great actors going head to head. I like it. There's a lot of Joker theme in this as well. But look at that. Really going insane over here. He honestly, he's in a transcendent state where he literally has no idea what the hell he is doing.
Embrace the chaos.
Almost as if Joker, Daredevil, and Batman mixed. Now that there, this is the best. The transition right there. That there, beating the crap out of him. It literally reminds me of Ghost Rider, that whenever Ghost Rider takes over, it's not in Johnny Blaze's control what necessarily happens. Like when Ghost Rider takes over, Ghost Rider takes over. That's essentially the route I could see them going with this, is that when Moon Knight takes over, Moon Knight takes over. And if they are to bring Ghost Rider in down the line, then I think that would be good, because then Ghost Rider and Moon Knight could really relate on that kind of level where they're trying to come to terms with, the other side taking control. And that suit looks so good. It's literally designed so well that it looks like a mummy, you know? That it literally looks like a mummy with superpowers. It's brilliant. It's perfectly fit. And the thing is also, Moon Knight's a dirty fighter. Like, he's not, you know, your run of the mill, you know, nice guy that will beat you and then you're out and then that's it. Like, he'll keep punching you until you bleed. Like, he won't stop. You know, there is no end to where he will go. He will continue to pound you even though you're down and out. But there are, you know, as good as Moon Knight is, there are a lot of flaws to his character where if you put him against, I don't know, someone like Bullseye, you know, Bullseye's too skilled for him to take in a fair fight, you know, and Batman would probably be insulted by, you know, the notion there's someone out there better than him, but Moon Knight doesn't really care. He doesn't need to be his best. He just gets the job done. Like, that's all he is. And he's not driven by guilt. You know, it's one superhero that isn't driven by guilt like anything. And he does serve the Egyptian god. So, Moon Knight worships, that's it, it's coming back to me, Khonshu. And Khonshu is pretty much essentially the Egyptian god of the moon. And after Mark is killed, but his body's brought into the pyramid where it's laid under the statue, somehow through like divine intervention, Spectre is brought back using this. So that's where they're gonna go. That's probably gonna be like in the first couple of episodes, where they're gonna really delve into what happens, how he gets the powers, and then after that, like, Lord knows where it goes from there. But yeah, oh god, guys, I can't wait for this show, man. Honestly, I cannot wait. Which Moon Knight comic should I read? Suggest. There was one that I read. I really enjoyed it. Moon Knight Acts of Evil. I remember reading that one. I really enjoyed that one. And then there was an older one. I think there was a bit of an older one. I'm pretty sure it had Punisher and Spider-Man in it. I really like that one. There's a lot of good comics with Moon Knight out there. A lot of good comics. Have a little like Google and see what you can come up with. But there are loads out there. There are so many. And one thing about, like, you know, the character of Moon Knight, he'll learn from his mistakes. Like, he won't make the same mistake twice. You know, he's gonna keep doing it. In terms of who his villains are, I'd say he doesn't necessarily. I mean, he has villains, but not in the landscape that other characters do. It's more of just whoever comes across his path, you know. But as I said, the best thing for me that I absolutely love about Moon Knight is that he wants you to see him coming. He doesn't, you know, even though his name's Moon Knight and he attacks you in the dead of night, it's not a case of, okay, now there's this, I'm going to blend in with the darkness and attack you that way. No, I want you to see me coming. Hell, my eyes even glow. I want you to see me coming. His original one's good. But he wants you to see him coming, you know? And I think the quote was, I don't wear white to hide myself. I wear it so they'll see me coming, so they know who it is. Because when they see white, it doesn't matter how good a target I am. Their hands shake so bad they couldn't hit the moon. Like that. If that don't give you chills, then I don't know what will. That was from Moon Knight Volume 4, I think, by Charlie. What's his surname? It's gone from my head. Charlie Houston. Yeah, I really enjoyed reading that one. Really enjoyed reading that one. But yeah, Moon Knight's the first of many grounded superheroes. The first of many. And essentially, Moon Knight is it. Yeah, he's his own worst enemy. That's the problem with Moon Knight more than anything. But I really enjoyed this trailer. I like the feel. I like the way it's kind of structured, and it just feels like my kind of show. Like, I just really enjoy these kind of stories. And one aspect to Moon Knight's character, even though he's got this like split personality kind of complex, is he's a loner. You know, he doesn't really associate with groups or with friends or whatever. He kind of keeps himself to himself. That's what I mean. It's like the similarities between him and Batman, like, are almost uncanny. You know, but it's different in the context of Moon Knight, because Moon Knight could potentially be crazy. Like, he could potentially be insane, but at the same time, he might not be. Like, they never really, I think, make it clear just because, for nuance, they like to, let people read between the lines and go, maybe he could be, maybe he isn't. Maybe he could be mad, maybe he's not. They don't really explicitly answer it. And I kind of prefer that they keep it a bit ambiguous, because then that keeps the enigma of the character alive. And that's what I've always been fascinated with the character of Moon Knight for, is they never really specifically state, is he crazy or is he not? They leave it up to the imagination for us as the viewer to think, yeah, he's insane. And then 5 minutes later, you read another page, you're like, is he really? Like, they never really explicitly state it. And I genuinely love that. And it's literally just a game of Russian roulette, whether he's crazy or not. I mean, it all depends on the way they execute the show for me, because as much as we use comic lore, as much as we use backstory, they could outright say in this show that he's crazy, like he's mental. Or they could not. They could say that he's completely the opposite. Maybe he is sane. They could choose to go that route too. It is completely possible. It is very, very possible. But I think, in the more earlier works of Moon Knight, they left it really ambiguous. They never really stated it. They kept it more, ambiguous for the immersion, for the reader to really sort of go on the journey, but not just go on the journey, but always question yourself in the back of your mind. Is he crazy? Is he not? Like, it's that constant, thing of keeping you guessing, keeping you on the edge of your seat. And by the end of it, you never find out whether he's crazy or not. That exactly, Darius. There's going to have to be a lot of contradictions that try and fool you. So don't be surprised in episode 1 if you think he's a nutcase and he's absolutely insane. And then episode 2, you think he's probably the most normal, sane guy that you'll ever see in your life. But then on the flip side, the next episode, you might have the same thing again. He might be completely sane. And then for the next 2 episodes, he's a nut job. Like, they're going to be basically, I really hope, and I can already tell this is going to be a complaint of the show. People are going to be annoyed. Is he crazy? Is he not? It's like, that's the point of the character. They never ever state whether he's crazy or not. It's a split personality thing. There is multiple personalities in there. There is a sleeping complex. There is so much to it that is, that isn't abstract. You can't put your own meaning on it. There's not your truth and my truth. There's the truth. The truth is that, yeah, he has a personality problem, and sleeping is something that he doesn't really do. That's fact. We can quantify that. That's fact. Pretty much in every medium, that's the character. But the one thing that probably won't even be quantified in this show, and as we've seen with recent shows, they are definitely on that verge of trying to keep true to the source material for a lot of characters as much as they can. I think they're going to be pretty much, excuse my French, but jerking a lot of the fans off this season on whether or not he's mad or not, and I'm really looking forward to that, because it is constantly being, you're taking on a ride. And the complex nature of Moon Knight's character is he's not your average superhero. And I don't say that as in he subverts expectations, just, it's kind of cool, we can subvert expectations. No, Moon Knight is that character that you have no idea where you stand with him. You have no idea. One day you'll be his best friend, the next day you might be his enemy. You just never know. Keeping people guessing. And more or less, the reason I say he's a Batman, he's more or less a copy of Batman with a stick, and he's all fully white and dressed like a mummy, The parallels are just uncanny. But there is a plethora of powers for this dude, and I can already picture one of the final shots. Maybe there's like the camera panning upwards. He jumps across from building to building, and you just see the figure of Moon Knight in the shape of the moon. Or I'm telling you, that would be it. As far as like powers, in terms of energy projection, he hasn't got it. Like, if you were to put this dude against Vision or Scarlet Witch, like, he's gonna get his ass whooped. But in a bare knuckle fight, like this dude, Daredevil, that would be a good one. Iron Fist, that would be a good one too. Basically any Hawkeye, Ronin, any grounded character, Moon Knight can take him home. But literally, it's the reverse Superman thing. The more moonlight he has, the stronger he is. So there'll be times in the show where he's fighting someone or he's fighting enemies, and maybe there's a crescent moon, and he's only at 25% strength, and then at the end of the season, you know, the moon is full. This dude's going to be knocking the shit out of people. He's going to be busting teeth. He's going to be, I'm telling you, like, honestly, that's when he's at his strongest. But that's the cripple for his character. That's the kryptonite that they've weaved into the plot. Because otherwise, with a character like Moonknight, if you have him be strong all the time, you know, okay, cool. Like, you need something that separates him from other characters. Like, he has that Ghost Rider effect, where when Ghost Rider takes over Johnny or Danny or Robbie Reyes, you know, when he takes over them, he takes over them. When Moonknight takes over Mark, he takes over Mark. But we've seen that before with other characters. So how can we make that different? What can separate Moonknight from someone like Ghost Rider or whoever? And we give him, you know, because the whole aura and enigma of his character is the moon. Not only does he get his energy and his life force and power from said moon, he also gets, you know, more based on how much moonlight exposure he has. So that's why he wants to see his, you know, his enemies to see him coming, because he loves the moonlight. He's almost like a werewolf. He will happily bathe in the moonlight. In the sun, probably not. He probably doesn't do anything for him. In the moonlight, that's his time to shine. That is his time to shine. Oh, happy birthday, Abbas. Everyone in the chat say happy birthday to Abbas. Yeah, and this is the conflict, is Mark already has a split personality, but Moonknight and Mark don't want to do the same things. You know, that's where the conflict lies, is they don't want to do the same things at all. So there's going to be moments throughout this season where you see maybe Mark wanting to do something and Moonknight doing another, or Moonknight wanting to do something and Mark doing another. And his split personality problem feeds straight into the Moonknight thing, because what the fuck is Moonknight? It's on the screen. Because, you know, see, you distracted me off my point. See, damn it, bollocks. Let me just remember something. There was a point I was going with this. I was going to link it into my next point. Ah, that's it. He beat Taskmaster. Not the MCU version of Taskmaster that was basically a drone. I hope they retcon that rubbish. But the Taskmaster, he beat him. Moonknight beat him. If that isn't an achievement, I don't know what is. You know, Taskmaster is one of the most brutal, bad to the bone kind of bounty hunter, gun for hire, mercenary type characters in the whole of Marvel. Further adding to me, being pissed off at, Marvel for what they did to my boy Taskmaster and Black Widow. That I'm not forgiving that. But Moonknight is such a badass. He made him beg for mercy. Like, that's the complexity of Moonknight. As I said, one day he could be lenient on you, and the next day could be a piece of shit. You know, it really just depends on what kind of Moonknight you come across. Mary J. What's up, RJ? But yeah, honestly, there's so many comics out there with such great art where it really fully encapsulates how good Moonknight actually is. This was honestly the show I was looking forward to the most. Like, out of the new characters, it was the one I was really looking forward to. But there has been some changes. There has been some changes within most of the comic runs. I think there's been more than one occasion that he's gone up against Morbius. So don't be surprised if you see that down the line either. Really don't be surprised if you don't see that down the line. Trying to have a little look on something. I want to try and find out more about it. But yeah, this was a sick trailer. This was a dope trailer. Let me see if I can find a synopsis of the show. There we go. Okay, here we go. I mean, there you go. There's a perfect one here. And Oscar Isaac enters a darker Marvel universe. You're damn right. It's time. It's time to stop. And as I said before, this is not the show for fart jokes. I don't want to see that shit in here. Honestly, I do not want to see fart jokes in this show. I really do not want to see that. That would honestly really wind me up. Oh, and also, Moonknight on more than one occasion has been able to steal powers. I just wanted to throw that out there. All right, here we go. Let's see what the synopsis says. We also get a look at Ethan Hawke's villain character. Yep, so there you go. That confirms Ethan Hawke is going to be the villain. So Moonknight might already be the MCU's darkest and most brooding character if the first teaser for the Marvel's character show is any clue. The trailer debuted on Monday night during the NFL playoff game on ABC and showed us our best look yet at Oscar Isaac as a double set of personalities. I said that earlier. And a first glimpse of Ethan Hawke as the series villain. The trailer also revealed that the show will be coming to Disney Plus on March 30th. So this is the next big show coming up. Now, according to Marvel's synopsis, the series follows Stephen Grant, a mild-mannered gift shop employee who becomes plagued with blackouts and memories of another life. And this is what I was saying, that he's got multiple kind of personalities to the point where he's got multiple lives. Stephen discusses he has a disassociative identity disorder. That's what I was saying earlier. And shares a body with the mercenary Mark Spector. Stephen enemies converge upon them. They must navigate their complex identities while thrust into a deadly mystery among the powerful gods of Egypt. Moonknight is created and written by Doug Mink. Oh, I think I might butcher that. Harley Quinn, Young Justice. Oh, Young Justice was good. The series is set to include 6 episodes. Yeah, as expected. Moonknight isn't the only Marvel show that it's been brought to the streaming service in 2022. Disney Plus will also get She-Hulk, Miss Marvel, Secret Invasion. I only care about Secret Invasion, along with I Am Groot in the second half of the second season of What If. Sorry, while Marvel has yet to confirm any blah 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 blah. But yes, this is the show that I was looking at the absolute most. There is so much with regards to Moon Knight's character that I really want them to go all in with his character. I don't want them to. And for me, this is a step of maturity for the MCU right now, because we've seen No Way Home that they are willing to go to the dark places. I really do want them to keep following suit. And because this is new, this is a test for Marvel to really show us they will let these characters stay dark. There are characters like Moon Knight, like Daredevil, Punisher, Ghost Rider. You cannot, and I repeat, you cannot make them positive. You can't. Like, Blade has a whole brothel thing in his backstory. Ghost Rider's dealing with souls and the devil. Like, Moon Knight is dealing with, split personality complexes. Daredevil's father was killed. He's blinded and he's beaten the crap out of criminals. He's beaten them to a bloody pulp. Like, you cannot spin their stories in that kind of positive light. You just can't. You really can't. And the one thing, I see, Darius, we're on the same wavelength. The one thing this opens the door for, as my brother Darius perfectly puts it, it could be a good way of depicting mental health issues too. And that's something that WandaVision really brought home. Which is why I said to people when all those crazy rumors were coming out of, oh, Mephisto's going to show up, Tobey Maguire is going to show up for some reason. Like, that's not the point of that show. That show was a self-contained story about grief and trauma and PTSD and dealing with your pain. And that's what this show is going to be. In a way, it's not going to be like that because this is the introduction of Moon Knight. But what it will be is it will be touching on split personalities. So for the Cobra Kai fans in the chat, think of Hawk. It's going to be very similar to that. Very, very similar to that, where Hawk's whole thing is he's been struggling with Eli, Hawk, Eli, Hawk, Eli. It's going to be like that. Moon Knight, Mark, Moon Knight, Stephen, Mark, Moon Knight, Stephen, Mark. Like, it's going to be that kind of thing, where 2 separate lives are clashing. So I think there's going to be a lot of potential there to really drive that home, push that forward, and don't pull any punches. Like, go all in. Oscar Isaac is a talented actor, and it further highlights how well they underused him in the sequels. But I really do think this show is a level of maturity for the MCU. This is an opportunity for Disney and Marvel to say, hey, okay, we've got things like Guardians of the Galaxy that have emotional moments, but they're more fun and lighthearted. You've got Groot or whatever, or you got Spider-Man that it has emotional and dark moments, but there is fun and lightheartedness in there. But there are things like Deadpool and this. You cannot pull any punches. You seriously cannot. And don't let him pull any punches. You know, let him go crazy. Like, this is a character that beats people up physically. He doesn't do what, like, Captain Marvel would do, blast someone over there, or Doctor Strange, where he puts them in a portal and gets rid of them. Like, I'm talking even more brutal than Black Panther. You know, Black Panther is cool, but Black Panther has the ability to knock you out within 3 punches. You know, Moon Knight, as strong as he is more teetering onto that line of street hero. He's into that Luke Cage territory where it's quite literally just bad to the bone, like purely bad to the bone. Go all in. Terry Silver's Cobra Kai. Hi, Jacob. I'm new to the channel. Oh, welcome. How do you know my name? Welcome, 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 welcome. I suppose because I keep saying it every 5 fucking minutes, but welcome. Welcome to the space. Welcome to the space. Woo! Woo! God. Yeah. All right, let me see if I can find another article to go through. It's currently 4 a.m. here in the UK, but I'm off work today, so it's all good. This trailer dropped, and I had to talk about it. I had to talk about it, especially for this show. Like, I mean, Miss Marvel's cool, and She-Hulk will probably be all right, but I just don't care. Like, I'm gonna watch them, but I'm not like, oh, I can't wait. No, yeah. I'm hyped, but I'm not hyped. You know? Right. Let me see if I can find another juicy article to go through. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Major change. Oh, this will be a good one to talk about. Hey, Cobra Badass Kai, I can see. Hope you're doing well. I can see you. You know, guys, I can see in the chat sometimes. It's just I'm trying to stay on topic for the sake of the video. But I can see the chat. Don't worry, you guys. I do see you. Thank you. I do see you. I don't want any jokes. Like, I don't want any jokes in this at all. Like, I literally want barely. Now, it's Marvel, so obviously, context, they're going to have some jokes. But I want it to be on a joke. I want 10%. Like, I don't want this jokes. I really do not. Because it's not that kind of story. It really isn't. But they might do it. Hang on, I think I read this one. I read this one earlier. I read that one already. Oh, I read that one already. Yeah, exactly. I mean, Punisher, Blade, Black Knight, Morbius, and Moon Knight. Like, I mean, come on. Come on. And I even forgot about Black Knight. Oh, man. That's probably going to be my favorite team up, is those kinds of characters. You've got Punisher, Blade, Black Knight, Morbius, and Moon Knight. Like, oh, you fucking mad. Oh, I love it. You got Daredevil out there and all. Woo! See if I can find some more on it. Oh, yeah, then there was Mockingbird. He has that thing with Mockingbird as well. That's another story. That's a thing. That's a thing. Yeah, I can't really find too much else other than what I'm already seeing. Oh my gosh, don't even. How are you doing, TCK? Like, yeah, I mean, Dark Avengers is possible, but I mean, it's more than that. Like with Moon Knight's character, good point, RJ. They'll tackle the mental health aspects of the character, like go all in due to Disney. Yes, like I mean, I'm sure there's going to be moments where they have a joke or the character does some nonsensical bullshit, but I really think there needs to. This is a test to see if they can handle a character where, like, it's time. Like, it's time to literally have a character where we are really pushing the envelope. We are really pushing the envelope for this kind of character. And I think you do a disservice to Moonknight if you have this really serious topic about split personalities and mental health and insomnia and all that kind of jazz. Well, not jazz, but all that kind of stuff. And then have fart jokes in there. Like, I don't want to see that shit. I really do not want to see that in here. I really don't. This is a test to see if they can do it. I don't want some Venom 2 rubbish. I want all in. Go all in. All in. Oh, dude, Dark Avengers and West Coast Avengers is happening. Oh, it's happening. 100%. I mean, Dark Avengers is happening down the line, but they'll be more linked to Spidey. But West Coast Avengers, I think it's a thing. It's going to happen. There's too many characters now to have one full Avengers team. Split the teams up. You know, that's the way I see it. Yeah, exactly. And as I was saying earlier on, Darius, is with this show, what this show needs to do is have us. Let me just turn on my laptop. I didn't even. Sorry, my laptop charger. What this show needs to do is keep us guessing, keep us on that line of, oh, the brightness went up then. Christ, like Casper the Friendly Ghost. Keep us on that line of, is he crazy? Is he not? Is he crazy? Is he not? Keep us guessing. Keep that ambiguity there. Don't take that away. I really don't want them ever in the history of this character, even 5 years from now, 8 years, however long they keep Moonknight around. I don't ever want them to say whether he's crazy or not. Don't ever say it. Hint, lead, persuade, sway, show, but don't actually explicitly say it. Don't say it. That's, and no Hulk's ass. I don't need to see that in a movie. Just like I don't need to see Venom fucking bloody going, I now know who I am. Like, get that shit out of there. Honestly, I need to do a whole Chosen live on why Venom 2 was one of the most disappointing movies I think I've ever seen in my life. Honestly, Mega Cloud, that is a great example. Now, I fell out of love with Legion because I was fatigued at the time from it all, and Legion just didn't really fascinate me as much. But Legion was very, 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 very like that. Very like that, where we are constantly guessing whether or not, you know, it's one way or the other. Legion is a great example. Yeah, Abbas, read some Marvel, dude. Seriously. Yeah, Hawkeye being the leader of the West Coast Avengers, I fucking love that. He really should. Like, I love what they've done with Hawkeye. The show has developed him. They've given him a costume. They've given him his own identity. They've treated the Ronin legacy with respect. Kate Bishop's a cool character. They've redefined Clint. We've had him since the beginning. It feels like we've just gotten to know him. And Clint is the one character that's brought this world in. He's brought Kingpin in. He's brought the world in that's now reintroduced us to Daredevil. I love it. I love it. So yes, Hawkeye should be the leader of that team. 100%. Curious Crow, that's a great point. His character is literally the definition of mental health. Like, I really don't want them to make jokes with this. Like, it's got to be, as much as WandaVision had campy jokes in there, I think that was mostly a balancing act because the tone of WandaVision was quite serious. Like, if you strip away the jokes and the sitcom humor, there is a lot of dark tragedy in that show. There is an undertone of depression and sadness and trauma, and I think this show could do that. But because it's not based on it's not got sitcoms in it, you know, we really got to go all in. Go all in. And it doesn't mean you have to make it depressing as fuck, but just real, you know, real. Yeah, just hint and don't say. And I can already see the complaints that people are going to have. Episode 1's going to drop. Is he crazy? I don't get him. I don't understand him. That's the point. That's the point of the character. You're not meant to understand him. You're not meant to. You're meant to sympathize and empathize, and maybe you can relate in aspects, but you're not meant to understand him. That's the ambiguity of his character. Like, he is, like how Michael Myers is in Halloween, the enigma and the mystery of the shape is what makes him terrifying. And Resurrection had to come along with, you trick or treat, motherfucker, and wah! and all that rubbish. You know, to basically toss all that out the window, quite literally. So Moon Knight is like that. Like, don't ever reveal it. Venom 2 is not the way. No, it's not the way. Venom 2 is the Ragnarok. Yes, it is. And the thing is, Venom 2 isn't a bad movie. Like, I don't want everyone to get the impression that I think it's a bad movie. It's a fun movie. It's just not what I would have done for a second. Like, I really wouldn't have done it. I don't want to get into that. I don't want to get into that. Oh God. Nor am I a DC fan. Oh. Hawkeye would be the perfect leader. WandaVision really is dark as hell. It really is. It's just got the jokes in there to balance it out, because otherwise it would be really sad. Especially with that ending. Oh, Hawkeye and Shang-Chi on the West Coast. It's possible. Moon Knight would be Hawk's favorite character. Dimitri claims he's a Marvel guy. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's like I was saying, Hawk and Moon Knight. They're both like two sides of the same coin. It's the same kind of thing of Eli juggling between Hawk and Eli. It's that kind of split personality thing. That was one of the first videos I ever did for Cobra Kai. Without the humor, it wouldn't be Marvel. I'm afraid some properties just, yeah, some really don't translate well. Yeah, there is no real reason. It's almost like this is what separates him from Daredevil. Daredevil, his whole thing is, I'm going to serve justice and vengeance and, you know, basically deal with the people that wronged me so they don't harm anyone else. Ghost Rider's whole thing is, I'm going to go and deal with these people because they're evil souls and I need to make them feel the pain of everything that they've inflicted on other people. Like, Ghost Rider is probably the best example. When Ghost Rider takes over, he takes over. It's not Robbie Reyes there. It's not Danny Ketch. It's not Johnny Blaze. It's Ghost Rider. And whatever Ghost Rider does is whatever Ghost Rider goes. Someone remove that that bot account from the chat, that Hex VG thing. Mods, shout out to you boys. There's no real reason, you know, for Moon Knight to do what he does. Like, Ghost Rider has a motive. Like, he has a motive. He'll go around doing what he does to people based on, you know, their soul and their prejudice and their sins. Moon Knight just goes and does what he does. That I can really relate him to a Dementor from Harry Potter. You know, like how the Dementors in Harry Potter, especially in Prisoner of Azkaban, the Dementors do not distinguish, as Dumbledore says, they do not distinguish between the one they hunt and the one who gets in their way. That is the level of complexity that Moon Knight has. Is while he obviously, because he's a hero, he's going to target the bad guys and the villains. He could still have a situation because of his split personality thing where he literally will hurt people, maybe innocent good people who just get in his way. It is really possible. And he is that character that will blur the line of what do we deem a hero to be? You know, what is acceptable? What is justified in the eyes of a hero? That's why I love street level characters like Moon Knight. Honestly, I love it. I love a character like Moon Knight. So happy they brought him over. Let me see if I can find. Let me just see if I can find another article to go through, get some more information. That's the way I'm going to do like trailer reactions and stuff going forward. You know, I'm going to, as soon as there's a trailer and I'm available, I'm doing a Chosen live and I'm talking about the trailer and I'm breaking it down. Here we go. That website will do. Hang on. Stop sharing this one. Yeah, I mean, in many versions of the Moon Knight suit, there's a lot of versions in the later ones where it doesn't look like a mummy. It looks more like a ninja, like a samurai kind of type looking dude. But I love the approach and the aesthetic they've gone for. And don't be surprised if you see an evolution of his suit as it goes along. Like, you'll see it look like a basic mummy right now. But as it goes along, you know, you will start to see changes happen for the character and his design, as we've seen with Iron Man and whoever. That can totally happen. And this line right here is so flipping good. The voice is in your head. There's chaos in you. Embrace the chaos. Honestly, telling you. All right. Okay. All right, let's do it. Fans finally get to welcome Oscar Isaac to the MCU. Boop! As promised, Marvel Studios dropped the official trailer for its forthcoming series, Moonknight, during the NFL Super Wildcard matchup. No one cares about the NFL. I'm joking. We all do. We all do. Sometimes. Along with a new poster, Isaac plays the title role, a former mercenary with multiple personalities who becomes the avatar of an Egyptian moon god. Moon Knight is one of the lesser-known characters in the Marvel Comics pantheon, which is why I've always loved his character, because no one knows a fucking thing about him. The son of a rabbi, said that earlier, Mark Spector is marked at a young age by the Egyptian god moon god Khonshu to be the god's avatar on Earth. So there you go. That's the best way to describe it if you're not sure of the character. It's an avatar. But Khonshu is a supernatural entity with many aspects to his nature and also exists out of phase with normal time and space. So forging a psychic connection with the human Mark has had a bad effect on the young man's mental health, which is a big component, a key component of his character. Mark develops dissociative identity disorder, eventually becoming a mercenary with his buddy Jean-Paul Frenchy Duchamp. He is hired by the ruthlessly immoral Raoul Bushman for a job in which the latter kills an archaeologist who has uncovered an Egyptian tomb. Mark saves the archaeologist's daughter Marlene, leading to a major fight with Bushman. Mark loses the fight and is left for dead, but the locals carry him into the tomb and leave him in front of a statue of Khonshu. Khonshu revives and heals the dying Mark. When Mark returns to the US, he channels all the money he made from being a mercenary into fighting crime as Moon Knight, recognizable by his silver cape. He has 4 distinct identities in the comic: a billionaire businessman named Stephen Grant, a taxi driver named Jake Lockley, a suitor consultant named Mr. Knight, and a little red-haired girl simply called Inner Child. Which is what I said earlier, his different aliases and different personalities. Like, honestly, there's so many personalities to this guy. Like, he's literally, you see in Transformers, the Quintessons, the ones that have those, you know, constant changing heads. Like, that's what Moon Knight is. Like, let me get a picture. Because I don't mean Quintessa from, what was it? I don't mean Quintessa from last night. No. Quintessons, Transformers. Hang on. I really want to watch like the G1 show now. Like, I really enjoyed watching that show. Oh, man, I'm going to watch that after this now. But basically, the Quintessons, these guys. So basically, these guys had, whoopsie daisy. There's like 4 heads on one thing, and each head would have like a different reaction and a different response. Think of it like that. Like, Mark's literally like crazy and nuts. Yeah, it's not going to be like scary in a jump scare way, but psychologically, this show is going to, and this is a show that I think, do you know what's going to be the problem for this show? Is it's going to be the Joker effect. Because it deals with a real issue, people are going to absolutely rip this apart. Honestly, the minute it comes, I think people are going to rip it to shreds, because they're expecting Moon Knight to be, I know, as I said, I compared him to Batman because he kind of is, but white, you know, but he's more than that. His character, and I love Batman, but I just mean in a different context. But Moon Knight's whole thing is he doesn't know who he is. You know, it's like, one day I'm this, one day I'm that, you know? It's always... Woo! God damn. It's constantly changing and evolving. So that's the best way I can sort of really see this going, is that when it drops, people are going to really expect this to be like a Daredevil type show. And it is in a way, but it's not. Basically, if Joker was Daredevil, you know, not as crazy like that, but similar. MCU is better than the comics, despite the jokes and I don't know. I disagree with that. The comics are always superior. MCU is good, and they do a good job balancing it. But I think the comics will always be the best. Yeah, Moon Knight was in a load of teams. All right, here we go. That's the basic origin story, according to the comics at least, and chances are the new series will incorporate a good chunk of it while also taking a few liberties as it should. Plans to introduce the character of Moon Knight into film and TV adaptations have been around since at least 2006, when Blade the series. The intent was to introduce the character then. So you see, this is what I'm saying. You are going to start to see the introduction of the grounded street characters. Like, we've already seen Daredevil brought over. Hawkeye is spearheading that front. You've got Moon Knight, Mahershala Ali's playing Blade. Morbius is kicking around. Like, you know, it's happening, people. The intent was to introduce the character then. Instead, the series was cancelled and a potential spin-off series never transpired. James Gunn admitted in 2017 that he'd pitched a Moon Knight film to Marvel, but ended up not having time to develop it further. Until now. Now this is the bit that I remember. It wasn't until the 2019 D23 conference that Marvel announced there was a Moon Knight series in development for Disney Plus, created by Jeremy Slater. Isaac was cast in October 2020, and last February we learned that unlike the standalone WandaVision, a one-shot miniseries intended to lead into the MCU Phase 4 feature films, Moon Knight was among the Marvel series that might get additional seasons on the streaming platform. So Moon Knight is a character that genuinely might get more seasons. Oh yeah, it's time. Like, it's time. Like, we love our staples. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. We love Fantastic Four. We love X-Men. Like, but before we really do more with them, like, let's have some more lesser ones like Moon Knight. The only problem is that a bunch of normies are going to think they know everything on him. That's the only thing that's going to annoy me. Marvel debuted the first footage from the 6-episode series last November during its Disney Plus Day, briefly showing Isaac in character, musing about how he couldn't tell the difference between his waking life and dreams. Bit of Inception for you there. There wasn't much in the way of detail, but we did catch a glimpse of what looked like a golden statue of Khonshu reflected in a mirror. And Monday we got a brief teaser with much of the same footage. And then Ethan Hawke here is the villain. He is the bad guy. He's the cult leader. We know that the series will share continuity with all the films in the MCU. May Calloway, Ethan Hawke plays yet undisclosed roles, although Hawke has said he found inspiration for his character in cult leader David Koresh. Also, Marvel CEO Kevin Feige has compared the series to Indiana Jones franchise with a franchise with a focus on Egyptology. So, like 1999's The Mummy, and now we have the official synopsis. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of that Egyptology, you know, dealing with a lot of, you know, deities and gods. And isn't it ironic that, you know, he played Sabah Nur, you know, X-Men Apocalypse, and now he's playing like Mark Spector, you know, Moon Knight, like in the pyramids. Like, it's weird. Multiverse. Like, I mean, come on. Hell yeah. Okay, so I've read that article, but that bit before. The new trailer opens up with Isaac laying awake in bed, tossing a Rubik's Cube into the air as he muses on a sleep disorder before waking up suddenly from that dream in a panic. We see him disoriented and barely staying awake on the subway at his museum job. Then he finds a cell phone and some keys in a cubbyhole. When the phone rings and he answers, a woman's voice calls him Mark. The voice is in your head. There's a chaos in you. Hawke's character, who does indeed resemble Koresh, tells Mark to embrace the chaos. That seems to be the secret to merging all those disorienting personalities into Moon Knight, as we see the telltale cape and body armor cover his body, followed by one brief shot of a cape figure leaping Batman-like across 2 rooftops. And that is a sick poster. That is an absolute badass poster. Look at that. Oh my god, I'm opening that and I need to share the screen of that. That is an image and a half. I mean, hey, I don't mind normies. I mean, hey, we're all normies of something. Like, I'm normie when it comes to Game of Thrones and Lord of the Rings and all that kind of stuff. But, you know, just accept that you're a normie. Look at that shit right there. Look at that. Now, that is a poster on the... That is a poster to end all posters. I love that shit. That is so flipping crisp. Honestly, I love it. Yeah, Mega Cloud. Yeah, I'm okay. Just a bit of winter blues. I mean, I know we're in January, but yeah, just a bit under the weather. As I said in my latest Amanda video, I'm just feeling a bit, yeah, but I'll be all right. But bear with me. Bear with me, guys. Yeah, I apologize if I don't seem as like energetic as possible. I just, you know, as normal. Sorry. I just, yeah. Get my man Nova. Yes. Probably a bit later on. Yeah, I'd agree. But honestly, this poster is so flipping clean. I love the way the light reflects off the moon shaped weapon. Like, it's very symbolic of Moonknight and how he gets his power from the moonlight. It's Moonknight gets his power from the moonlight. Oh, whoo! Man, damn, get that on a shirt. Hell yeah. And I came up with that. I don't want anyone else patenting that. That's mine. I came up with that. But yeah, I'm really excited to see where they go with this show. I think Oscar Isaac's going to absolutely kill it. And the one thing that sticks out for me more than anything is this is going to be a hard role to play, like for any actor. You know, you're playing multiple characters and you have to make sure each character is so... Think of James McAvoy in, what was it, Split, where he plays like 40 characters. Like, it's... Think of yourself playing a different character. All right, you can do it. Now play another one. Can you do that? All right, maybe you can. Now, can you switch back from that character to that character? Like, you've got to do it seamless to where you're like, hey, I'm crazy too. Hello, welcome. Would you like some tea? To you know, you've got to literally split second between personalities. There's going to be moments in this where Oscar literally has to act his bollocks off. Like, I honestly, I think this is going to require one of the most acting performances of probably the whole MCU. Like, I think Oscar's going to have his work cut out for him on this one, and in a good way. Like, I think it will really showcase how good Oscar Isaac actually is. But it's not going to be easy. Honestly, I hats off to him, because I tell you what, it's going to be tough. I'm telling you, like, honestly, it's going to be really hard for any actor. You could take the best actor in the world, but playing like multiple characters at once and splitting back and forth between them, it ain't easy. Yeah, Split was a good movie. Yeah, exactly. It's literally James McAvoy's character from Split. Hey King, what's up? Act his bollocks off. It reminds me of the time where everyone asked me to you know, what do I think of, was it, you know, would I rather watch Outer Banks or whatever? I said, I'd rather go and shove my balls in the toaster. Yeah, totally. Like, honestly, I think this is one of them shows that the awards can't ignore, because it's, I mean, look, let's be real. Superhero things don't get appreciation from things like we want them to. Even though there are amazing performances in every MCU movie from every actor or a few individuals in particular, you know, I can still see them snubbing this. But I'm telling you, man, Oscar's going to flip and nail this role. This is the kind of role that would suit Oscar. And judging by the trailer, he literally changes from character to character seamlessly. Like, it's perfect. Honestly, I think an Emmy is on the cards for him at least. But that poster right there is fucking clean. Love it. Absolutely love it. So yeah, as I said, when trailers drop, this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to usually go live, talk about it, react to it on stream, then, you know, break it down as I go. And then, hey, Moonknight's a character that I've been waiting for ages. So I had to talk about Moonknight. Moonknight is my G. That's my dude. Unfortunately, now everyone's going to be saying he's the dude. Oh, well, at least he's got more exposure. At least he's got more exposure. Okay. All right, let's get that trailer back up. Oh, man. There's just moments in this trailer where... There's moments like this where he's in the lift and you can see the... Look, it's literally coming up to him. It's coming towards him. Like, it's almost something that he can't get away from. Like, this is something that looks straight out of a horror movie. Honestly, it looks straight out of a horror movie. And since we're in multiverse, can we have a moment where Spider-Man 2099 from Into the Spider-Verse, X-Men Apocalypse, and, I don't know, Poe Dameron from Star Wars, and Moon Knight, can we have a moment where all four of them are talking? And just to really showcase how good Oscar Isaac is. But... you know, it's almost like a horror movie, you know, and as we were saying earlier, and Darius brought this point up, it's not one that's going to be jumpy, scary. It's going to be more of a psychological one where he starts to see things. Maybe it could literally even be a situation where, like, the walls are closing in, you know, where he feels contained. There's a part in the trailer where he's chained up his ankle because, you know, he obviously knows that when he changes to another personality, that one's going to go nuts. So he's got to contain himself. And that's another thing, is he's still one man. And if you have a personality that is aggressive, violent, and dangerous, and you are in your nuanced personality, you're going to think, right, okay, I better chain myself to this bed, because if I wake up in that personality, I could hurt someone. But if I chain myself to the bed, I can't hurt anyone. And then when I calm down, and maybe I go to, I don't know, happy-go-lucky personality, then maybe, you know, I'll be right. Okay, you know, the raindrops keep falling on my head. You know, there you go. Break free from your sequel trilogy shackles, my good man. Oh, you never knew. Yeah, he was Apocalypse. Well, honestly, I don't know what it is with Oscar Isaac going to pyramids and then getting powers. But this, honestly, this is so, like, psychological. Like, I love it. And I don't... Oh, it's too dark. Fuck off. There needs to be one dark project in the MCU. Come on, have some gumption. Have some balls. You know, have some bollocks, you know? Like, take some risks.
It's a contact lens.
Like, you can still get... I think people, you know, forget the fact that it doesn't have to be all blood and guts and gore for it to be a dark story. You can get away with a lot. And Kevin Feige's already said this, that it's going to be PG-13. Now, obviously, Deadpool's the exception because he has no choice. His hands are tied. You can't PG-13 Deadpool. And you dare PG-13 Blade. But there are certain characters you can't not do it. And I think you do a disservice to the character by not having them be dark. This isn't a show where I want to see fart jokes every 2 seconds. Or, you know, so... What's that? What's another good example? When, you know... like in Thor Ragnarok, for instance, the best example I can give is anytime there's an emotional scene, there's a joke instantaneously. You cannot take in the emotions of the scene. Like, let us spend time with it. Like, to my Cobra Kai fans, could you imagine the scene where Robbie comes home to Johnny, right? It's a heartbreaking scene. And he says, "I'm sick of blaming you, Dad." And they embrace, they hug. Father and son, Robbie's finally home. And then instantaneously, the camera doesn't even pan out and let you soak in the fact that Robbie's home. You know what it does? It cuts to bloody, you know, Hawk doing Gangnam Style or something. Like, that's what the MCU's been doing and Sony's been doing. They need to stop that shit. It's really annoying. Like, let us soak it in. Let us take it in. Let us really nourish in the emotional investment of this story. Let us feel it, you know? Let it drag. Use it. Utilize it. Go all in. You go all in. Exactly. And look at the Batman trailer. That dude's beating the shit out of people left and right. Like, excuse my cursing, but he's beating the crap out of people left and right. And hell, mentioning Captain America, even in the first Avenger, that Cap's beating the crap out of people. Winter Soldier is beating the crap out of people. Like, you can get away with a lot on a PG-13 rating. Hell, Winter Soldier kicks a guy into the bloody rotors of a Quinjet. Like, you can get away with a lot. Like, it doesn't always have to be blood and guts. You can get away with a lot. A lot. Especially, I mean, Revenge of the Sith as well. Good example. Like, I mean, hell. I know dismemberment and a guy burns to death in that movie, but, you know, other than that, the tone of the movie is dark as hell. Like, especially in the back half. It's really, really dark. And it doesn't distract by jokes. It lets you sit in that darkness because you're on the journey. You know, the show needs to do exactly that. Even No Way Home, it knew when to be dark. It wasn't like, okay, Aunt May's dead, here's a joke. No, they let us sit in the tragedy. Hell, it was a tragedy for a good bloody half hour. You know, both Toby and Andrew spent a good half hour trying to talk Tom out of it because it was emotional. They let us sit in with it, and that's exactly what the show has to do. And because, you know, cutaway scenes always work, you know, but I mean, that's what this show needs to do. Bucky was sniping people on the highway. Yes, exactly. Like, that's what this show really needs to do. You need to let it set in. You need to let us feel the emotions of it. Don't bloody, you know, do random jokes every 2 seconds because, oh, this will be funny. Like, no, don't do that. You know, don't pander to the little boys and the girls, you know, going, oh, like, no, don't, fuck that. Get that out of here. Have some balls and go through with it. Go all in. Because while watching Mrs. Doubtfire in my recent watch party when I had the Kings on, one thing that movie brought up that is so true: don't patronize kids. They don't like it. Kids want to be adults, and adults want to be kids. You can find the balance of both. Like, you don't need to pander to one more than the other. You can find a balance. You can strike a balance. And Mrs. Doubtfire, again, it's a movie that's always on the edge of teetering on that line of jokes for the adults or jokes for the kids. It's got that perfect line, whoosh, right down the middle. So that's exactly what this kind of show needs to be. Yeah, you're never gonna get R-rated Batman. It's like the people that want R-rated Star Wars. You're never getting it. You just aren't. The whole IP, like, you can push a PG-13 rating to have scary stuff like Marvel Zombies or Darth Vader cutting people down. Like Darth Vader in Rogue One in that hallway scene, that's a horror movie. Like, it's cool and it's epic. I'm like, but at the same time, it's scary as hell. Like, imagine you're in a dark hallway and you see a crimson blade light up, a hooded dark figure, heavy breathing coming towards you. You're gonna shit yourself. Like, I mean, you know, if it was any other entity and it wasn't Star Wars, that would make for a good horror movie. People were describing that to like, they were basically saying that was akin to Jason Voorhees, you know? So I'm just saying, you can get away with a lot with a PG-13. And you've got to take into a consideration the IP. It's like when we all want Power Rangers to be R-rated. Like, it's never going to happen. It just can't, because the whole IP is built around for kids. You know, it's, you know, it's morphin' time. Da, 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 da. You know, it's like, you know, like, you know, when they're always like doing random bloody expressions every 5 bloody seconds. I mean, Power Rangers is shit nowadays, but I mean, at least back in the day, everyone could say they liked it. I mean, Tommy Oliver, come on, it's my G. Jason too. But you know, the whole IP is built around the premise that you cannot, you know, change that at its fundamental core. But you can get R-rated superhero movies depending. Again, context is important. Depending on what they are. Like Deadpool, you can do it. Moonknight, I think the way they're going to treat rated R characters, if they can avoid rated R, they will, because they want to get as much as audience in as possible. But the way I would have it pegged is if you have a character like Blade, for instance, in his solo outing, you have him R-rated. You have that dude R-rated. There is nothing in Blade's backstory that is a PG-13. No. Not for me. And because you have a previous version with Wesley Snipes to compare it to, like I said, oh, well, Twilight did it. Don't ever put Twilight and Blade in the same sentence. That is just degrading and disrespectful to not only Wesley Snipes, the GOAT, that's also degrading to proper quality movies. Twilight is nothing but fan fiction with half-assed vampires. Blade is full-on vampires. Full on. All in. Blood and everything. And because there's that version to compare it to, you cannot PG-13 Blade. You cannot. Like, if they do it, I'll still watch and I'll trust them, but I will be very surprised if they can pull it off. Now, Moonknight, however, you can get away with a PG-13 for him. Ghost Rider, you can get away with a PG-13 for him. You'd be pushing the limit, but you can get away with it. Punisher, no, come on. Like, there's reasons why, like, Punisher in, like, the cartoons, like, in the comics, it doesn't matter because they're comics. But in the cartoons, they gave the Punisher lasers instead of bullets. And all the police had lasers because you can't have bullets in the kid's cartoon. But, you know, obviously, you know, if it was bullets, like, Punisher shooting up people, like, it's not going to be, you know, like Star Wars looking with lasers. And the way Star Wars lasers are designed, when you get hit by the laser, they cauterize the wound instantly. You know, bullets don't do that, you know? So that's what I'm saying is when I bring up these points is, you know, that there's so much there that you cannot change that at its fundamental core. I got very passionate there. Yeah, ain't nothing funny about Moonknight. You're damn right. Oh, I'll tell you what. Up. That movie is depressing as hell. You know, with the montage of him and his wife, Ellie, and then they always wanted to go on that trip. honestly, I can't watch Up. That movie depresses me. Like, honestly, it's one of the saddest fucking movies I've ever seen in my life. And I give full credit to Pixar for having the balls to go through with it because it's emotional. It really is emotional as hell. And the house and the final shot of that movie, like, honestly, I was close to tears. The house is at the place that they always wanted to go to together. The house is at the place. The music's playing. Michael Giacchino's score is playing perfectly. And he's reading the book that him and Ellie had with the memories. And he finds the note that he never read. We had a great adventure. Now go find a new one. And it's almost like Ellie is with the house and she's at the Paradise Falls, and he's gone on a new journey. Like, honestly, it emotional as hell, that scene. Honestly, I was damn near crying. Oh god, it was powerful. Oh, Darth Nihilus. Oh yeah, that would be a good pick. Planet of the Apes. Yes, Planet of the Apes really pushes a PG-13. Like, honestly, there's so much in those movies that it's literally like it's here on the edge of the mountain. All it takes is whoosh, and then you're in 15 rating. No, I don't think Star Wars will ever have a 15 rating, bro. Star Wars isn't that kind of IP. Parents should watch their kid. Yeah. Why? Yeah. Why would you bring? Yeah. I mean, R-rated Power Rangers is the reason we want it is just because it's cool. Like, I mean, come on, but it's not the IP. They just can't, man. Yeah. I mean, John Bernthal I respect because he appreciates the responsibility of the character, and Daredevil and Kingpin you can water down to a point. Punisher you can't. He's using a gun. He's using guns. Like, and all right, War Machine's using guns. Well, why do you think War Machine was always fighting drones? I mean, come on. Like, anytime Iron Man or War Machine were fighting humans, Iron Man was using lasers and repulsors. Like, I mean, come on. Well, except in the first one, but that was back when, there was more bollocks. But yeah, I know he had a lightsaber in the cartoon. It was really weird. I know, R.I.P. Ed Asner. Honestly, it's depressing as hell. Like, honestly, I remember everyone saying this movie's so good, and I'm like, it's good, but it's emotional as fuck. Honestly, that final shot of the house over the waterfall, it's almost like Ellie's gone on a new journey. She's at peace, and she's let Carl go and find a new adventure. Like, man, fucking emotional. I haven't seen Soul yet. I've heard it's really powerful. Yeah, that montage of his wife, man. That and one thing that Up does so well is it shows you, how quickly time passes and that time waits for no one. It really waits for no one. But yeah, like, with all that being said, like, I know I've been talking about Up and everything, but it is linked to what I'm talking about here. That this show really has it's a testing ground for will they have the ability to go all in with this show? Will they have the gall to not hold any punches within this show? Like, it's going to be interesting to see if they can absolutely do this and pull a test. I mean, but you got Ethan Hawke there with the Keanu Reeves here. And then look, this is another personal highlight for me. It's him seeing himself in his reflection, and he doesn't like what he sees, and he's booting the crap out of the window. I love it. There's so many layers here. And then this bit here, right? Look at him. He's going insane. He's losing the plot. Then he's hearing the truck, and he's like, how the hell did I get here? Why have I got a gun? Drop the gun. Dead body. Yeah, or whatever. Like that. Because of how many personalities he's got going on. Hey, Jesus, what's up? He'll be switching back and forth. And King, I don't know if you heard my reference earlier, but like the quintessons in Transformers, it's literally like that, where the head changes and it's a different head. Like, you'll have head 1 where it's like head 2 where it's like head 3 where it's like and head 4 where it's just like there's switching back and forth between that. Honestly, Oscar's gonna be up for an Emmy nomination for this for sure. Yeah, like I really think there's gonna be comedy regardless because they can't have it be fully dark because it is Marvel. But I really do feel like there needs to be an element of this show where they don't pull any punches where they go fully all in on it. Like you go, like you cannot treat this mental thing as a joke. Like you can't. And they've already shown, like through WandaVision and stuff, that they take it seriously. So, you know, I think they might. This might be one show they go all in on. Yeah, I mean, this is what you can do. Like, if you have Blade in his solo movies, you can say, you know, I was born ready, motherfucker. Like, you can have all that stuff. But when he's in the team-up movies, have him PG. That's how I would do it. Like, or you can have Deadpool interrupt, like, in the PG-13 team-up. You could have Deadpool say, zip it, we're in a PG-13 movie. Like, you could absolutely do that. I would be so on board. Kevin Feige, get me in the writer's room over there. I've just given you a brilliant idea. You keep, what's his face? You keep Deadpool and Blade rated R, right? But then when they're in the team-up movies, you know, like the Avengers or something, you know, you have Deadpool, like Blade's about to say mother, and then Deadpool's like, shh, we're in a PG-13 movie. Like Deadpool can break the fourth wall and make it kind of funny. Like that's the opportunities they have here. Bang, get me for 5 a.m., bro. Like, I mean, hey, I'm pulling an all-nighter tonight, bro. I mean, I was going to go to bed, but I just don't. Yeah. Duty calls, you know. This is the grind, though. I hope you're doing well, sir. Good to see you today, earlier, Leon, man. Sam is the GOAT. Yeah, yes. I mean, unrelated, but yeah. I mean, yes, try and stay on topic. Not talking about that right now. Yeah. Honestly, this trailer looks badass. I love everything about it. I love the aesthetic. I love the way it's designed. I love the way it's shot. I love the way the costume wraps around him like that. It's literally as if, and then this is his like Batman trailer moment where he's pounding the crap out of people. And his turn here. Look at that. Like, look at that shit. Like, oh, God. I mean, oh, you fucking hell. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love everything about it. And it's almost as if, you know, when... You know, like when you watch a movie like Indiana Jonesy or something and someone's literally getting wrapped by like mummy wrap? That's what that looks like. It's dope. Cheap cinema tickets on Wednesdays. We got, yes, we must. Is Moon Knight beating up a creature? No, he's beating up a person. I think he's beating the shit out of someone. Oh, Oscar's going to nail this, man. Oscar's talented as hell. Honestly, this is his Batman trailer moment. And as I was saying at the start of this stream, Moon Knight is a character that wears white, not just because it, again, symbolic, because it reflects the moonlight, but because also he wants you to see him coming. He's not Batman that, I mean, I love Batman. I'm not throwing shade on Batman. I'm just saying this is the counterpoint, is that Batman uses the elements of the darkness to sneak up on his enemies and uses the dead of night. Moon Knight does exactly what he wants to do when he wants to. He doesn't care if you see him coming. He wants you to see him coming. He wants you to shake and quiver in fear before he lays a smackdown on your ass. He wants you to see him coming. Because then the thing is, something you don't see coming that you lose to, it's not as embarrassing. Something you lose to that you did see coming, like, I mean, that's a hard pill to swallow. Honestly, Darius, this suit is fucking sick. I love the suit. Love it. Really love the suit. Mark's personalities get him into life-threatening situations, then switch out in the middle and ends up having to deal with it. Yep. It's literally, yeah, he gets thrown into situations and then his personality changes and he's like, well, how the hell did I get here? You know? Get to bed, lad. It's almost 5 a.m. You know me, man. You know me, man. I'm a bit of an insomniac nowadays. But, you know, don't worry. I will be getting my sleep anyway. I'm off work today, so I will be getting my sleep. But, Ty, what did you think of the trailer, brother? Shout out to my UK gang. But honestly, I do love this poster as well. This poster is clean as hell. Hang on. Let me just keep on the trailer a minute. And then there was another moment. You see, look, it's the manic and the panic in nature. Like he's, you know, juggling through the streets. He's running from one place to the next. He's falling asleep on the train or the bus or whatever. It's just like the different personalities. You know, he's just trying to sort of bridge the gap. And then that right there, that flicker, right? That flicker, that flash right there. Bang. Right there. Look at that. Oatmeal with no Skittles. Yeah, damn right. My only suit is the hood. Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I think, as I said, this is going to be a progression. This is his starting suit, and then as it progresses, you will start to see an evolution where it starts to look a bit more slick. But this is a good starting point. Moonknight be like, knock, knock, motherfucker, get ready for this beatdown. Yeah, man. Fucking, he about to pull up on your ass, buddy, hood style, man. He don't care. And I cannot wait, right, for him to get his staff. When he gets his staff off, fucking, he's about to go Donatello on these people. Telling you. He's about to go Donatello on there. Honestly, I love this bit here where he's looking at himself. It's almost like what Venom, whenever Eddie looks in a reflection and he sees Venom, it's taken a bit more seriously here. Fucking Venom too. Taken a bit more seriously where he sees his personality, but it's not just an alternate personality. It's literally daytime I'm this, nighttime I'm this. It'll be interesting to see whether this guy gets any fucking sleep at all. I mean, hell, maybe I'm Moon Knight. I'm just saying, it's actually a full moon out tonight. I'm not even joking. Like, it really is. Well, it was a full moon, but I think sunrise is about to come in an hour. So I'm probably gonna go for another half an hour just to make this a 2-hour live stream. Shout out to everyone who rewatches these as well. I really appreciate you. Shout out to Luke if you watch this. Shout out to Stuart if you watch this. Shout out to Leon if you watch this again. Shout out to Lisa. And shout out to Juliana. Just shout out to anyone that rewatches these. Because I know some of you guys have told me in the past that you sort of see these as podcasts. So whenever you're feeling down or whatever, you just put this on for the 2 hours of me just talking, whatever. So I really appreciate that. Moon of the Night. You need to do a Chosen live on Venom 2. Yes, I do. Because I've got a lot to say on that movie, because that movie... fuck were they doing, man? But how were they doing with that movie? Honestly, it really frustrates me, because Venom 2 could have been so flipping good. It really could have been so good. I mean, I know you can apply that to every movie, but come on. It could have been good. It could have been really good. At least Scream was decent. Scream and No Way Home. Scream, No Way Home, Falcon and Winter Soldier, Shang-Chi, and Hawkeye have really saved the superhero genre for me, and movies in general this past year. I'll put Fast 9 on there as well, because that's just dumb fun. You see? Moon Knight, another person has been added to my rogues gallery. So for context and nuance here, ladies and gentlemen, is if you don't know this thing, basically Ty and mine's thing is essentially that I have an affinity for characters like Robbie Lawrence, Tommy Oliver, Anakin Skywalker, Moon Knight, Daredevil, Punisher, basically characters who are badass, bad, anti-hero, good guys that beat the crap out of people. Yeah, that's a thing. That's the thing. Can we throw Negan into the bunch as well? Just so that way you can have the baseball bat swinging guy in there. Yeah, Venom 2 was way too short. And an example of what I was talking about earlier on with the emotional moment is when, he finds out that Anne's going to marry the boyfriend. He feels down about it. And then they make a joke instantaneously. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? Oh, Halloween Kills was fun to watch. From Johnny, Hawk, Anakin, and Punisher. Yep. Don't forget Robbie. Another Robbie video. Anti-heroes. Yes, they are. They are. They're always the best. Because then when they redeem, it's fucking sweet. And then when they fall to the dark side, it's even better. It's perfect. Yeah, I know. I mean, especially in Dino Thunder. He was great in that mental role. But I love that flash of seeing Moon Knight in the mirror. It's almost like his calling card. It's dawning on him. I love it. But this scene here in the elevator, this is one of my favorite parts of it. This is the psychological aspect of it. Look at that. It looks creepy. You see in It Chapter 2 when, Beverly visits her old house and then Pennywise morphs into that weird, creepy old lady looking thing. And he's like, like that. You know, it literally looks like that. Okay, look, it's literally like trying to come after him. And that's going to be the scary element to it, that no matter where he goes, he can't escape this being, this entity that is trying to latch onto him. Like, he can't escape it. He just can't. You just can't get away from it. Honestly, I can't wait. Can't wait for this show, man. Oh, look, it's literally... What was I saying about Pennywise as the old lady? It's literally Mrs. Kirsch. Good God. Got that bang on. This trailer's cool. I really like it. It's dope. There's going to be a lot of Egyptian mythology as well. You know, there's going to be a lot of that. Oh, smash your face in. It's set in London. It's set in London town, people. You're damn right. Which is why the trailer released at fucking 2 in the morning. Jacob's favorite anti-hero list: Robbie, Negan, Moon Knight, Daredevil, The Punisher, Harry Osborn, Blade, and Anakin. You know. Remember, sympathy for Pennywise. Tristan, don't start that bollocks. Sympathy for Pennywise. I'll smash his face in. Pennywise, bloody. I tell you what you do with Pennywise, right? Richie said, you know, you brought me to a crackhead house, and he took that personally. I would have gone further. I would have said this looks like a brewery and not a nice one. Looks fucking awful. You live here, Pennywise? You should be ashamed of yourself. Bloody round-headed, chalk-looking, you know, orange afro, ugly ass, plastic surgery piece of crap. Honestly, kick that dick to the curb. Spit in his face. Oh, hey, Steph. Oh, Jason Todd. We cannot forget Jason Todd. Ty, you forgot Jason Todd. Tristan, you forgot Jason Todd as well. Shout out to the 14, 15 people viewing right now. Appreciate you all. I mean, I like Jason as Robin, but no, Red Hood is his... I mean, come on, Red Hood is that dude. Because he challenges, like, Batman's philosophy.
Yeah.
Love this, and it's a different personality answering the phone call.
It must be
It's difficult. Look at him. Look at him in all his glory. Got people bowing to him. Yeah, no ego.
in your head.
Totally no ego. I love this opening, though. It's so simple. Like, it really communicates to me the mental health aspect that they're going for. This guy can't sleep, and he's playing with a Rubik's Cube.
Hello, and welcome to
I mean, I couldn't sleep.
I'm a
I'm not playing
sleeping
with a Rubik's Cube. But then, look, he anticipates that he's going to change to a personality that is crazy and is a loose
can't tell the
cannon. So what does he do? He ties himself
my
down to the
waking
bed
life.
because he knows that when he wakes up, it might not be... Like, this is probably his most nuanced personality, where he's playing with the Rubik's Cube, and he's probably thinking, when I wake up, I'm going to be completely different. Like, I need to chain myself to the bed, because I could wake up in a really crazy mood. And as we see in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, like, he's already crazy. Like, he's losing the plot. He's going insane. And then over there, look, he's tied himself up for good reason. Like, it's... You know, I think this show's going to have a lot of, like, undertone of dark nature to it, you know? But yeah, I'm going to stop sharing that screen now. Right. Okay. Let's share this poster one more time, because this poster is so fucking good. Honestly, I love this poster. I love everything about this poster. It's so simple, but it's so symbolic. Because as I was saying, Moon Knight's character gets his power and energy from the moon. Look at the shot here. His weapon has the moon tip on it, right? Of the crescent, like it has the moonlight. So it's almost like the powers for his character are on the poster as well. Like, it's killing two birds with one stone. It's such a good poster. I love it. Oh, yeah, good guy heroes too, because when they get pushed... Yeah, I mean, hell. I mean, look at No Way Home when Peter was beating the shit out of Goblin. Like, that, I love that scene. Phantasm and Moon Knight would make a good team. Yes, they probably would. They probably would. They probably would. Yeah, when Miguel snaps at Johnny or Injustice Superman. Yeah. It's fascinating. I also re-downloaded Injustice 2, by the way, everyone. So I've been playing through that again. My mains are Blue Beetle, not because of Sholo. Like, that was before Sholo was casted. Like, I always liked Blue Beetle. And Captain Cold and Green Arrow. Those are my main three. I like shooters. But I do from time to time play Batman or Superman or whatever. But, you know, there are times where I've seen people play Superman and they're like level 100 or whatever, and they get creamed by like a dead shot that's like level 10. But the guy on level 10 knows what he's doing. Like, you know, that's always a thing. That's always a thing. So I'm going to spend the next 20 minutes just talking with you guys here in the chat. And then I'm going to go and get some shut eye for a few hours. Because I'm going to work on some videos today. Batman was your main. I'm not surprised. Really not surprised. Moonknight. Hang on. Let me look at some more of his powers, because there's more details. That's it. That's what I wanted to talk about. Prophetic visions. Now, what does that mean? Prophecy. Like, basically prophet telling. He can see things before they happen. Think of Jedi. You know, and Yoda can see into the future. It's literally that kind of shit. He can see a lot of that. But mostly during full moons. And he can drain a person's life force through physical contact. Like, he can take someone's physical life force. Like, he's that good. You too, Steph. Thank you. Thanks, Steph. Yeah, Darius, I know, man. I mean, I don't really have insomnia. I think my problem is I see, I can't even say it. I just work too hard. But yeah, man, I have had it in the past, and it's a real fucking bitch. Like, it's just, you just can't do nothing. Sub-Zero, Flash, Green Arrow. Oh, that's cold. That's a cold team. I mean, Sub-Zero is cold on the game. And you can tell, like, with his special move, like, after, like, not his special move, but you know his, like, victory thing, where he grabs you upwards. They show a front facing of it because they don't want to put it in the game because they'll have to change the rating. But what happens there, ladies and gentlemen, is Sub-Zero actually rips you in half. But they don't show it because obviously they'll have to change the rating on Injustice. but I'm telling you, man, you guys ever play Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe? That game, I really enjoyed that game. So good. I mean, honestly, it literally, the minute Superman puts on a black suit, the minute Spider-Man puts on a black suit, get out of their way. You know you're about to get your ass whipped. You're about to get fucked up. Darkseid, I think Darkseid, if the AI is playing as him, is tough. And Gorilla Grodd. But when regular people play as them, no. Red Hood was so good. Yeah. And you can only have 3 turtles to choose from until you unlock another slot. Really annoying. You're damn right. Mortal Kombat. But the fact that game got Flash right and the actual movie coming out on the Flash isn't is a joke. It's ridiculous. Let me find some more on Moon Knight for the final 18 minutes. But yeah, this is how Chosen Lives are just going to be working, you know, because I know you guys like, you know, more intimate time sometimes. Just Jacob on me ones talking with you guys in the chat. Old school. I do like it. Got my boys that come on the Sunday. Fuck it. Let me get my Christmas hat. Everyone said they found it funny, so I'll wear it again. There you go. I'll wear the hat again. I don't know why. Everyone just said they found it funny. Because we are the Flash! Don't ever mention that ever again. Yeah, exactly. He's strong as hell, but you have to be really good to play with Darkseid. Like, you have to be really, really good. There's an article here, Reasons Why Moon Knight is not Marvel's Batman. I mean, I say it in, you know, context, but not the White Knight and the Dark Knight. I mean, it's more of... I think the biggest thing that separates them is Moon Knight doesn't have it... Because of that ambiguity there, because there's that ambiguity, whether he's crazy or whether he's not, Moon Knight doesn't mind killing people. Seriously, he doesn't. I mean, look at that weapon he's holding. That's gonna do more than leave a scratch. Like, that's that's gonna leave a permanent mark, potentially forever. Like, you know, it's he has no qualms about taking someone out who's in his way. And Batman has killed Thor, but you know that creates a whole, you know, opens a whole can of worms right there. I mean, hell, look at bloody Batman in BVS, like shooting people like John Wick. Like, I mean, like Punisher Batman. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jesus Christ, that was an interesting time. That was. But Mark Spector himself was a killer before he was Moon Knight. So becoming Moon Knight made his morals around killing change. So Moon Knight is going to essentially start out as the villain. Not villain as in bad guy, but villain as in he'll kill people. And then as the show progresses, you will see him start to change. That'll be his evolution. It's sort of like how Arrow, like Oliver in the first 2 seasons, especially in season 1, he was just killing people left and right. Like that, Oliver didn't give 2 fucks in season 1. He would just kill you. But season 3 onwards, you know, he changed. And Moon Knight will get to a position where he will kill people based on morals, and as long as they were bad people, you know. So he is still a hero, but his kind of the reason why I love characters like Moon Knight is they're not these perfectly constructed goody two shoes characters that are ready made and are we're gonna be the good guy. It's like they have to work to become the good guy, and when they become the good guy, it's even sweeter because they're the badass anti-hero bad good guy. It's what I was saying with like Robbie. You know, you could apply Robbie to Moon Knight. Like, you know, Robbie kicked Miguel over a railing, still needs to make up for it, but you know what he's capable of. But now he's beginning his redemption, you know, and now he's on the path to being good. You know what he's capable of. You know there's a bad boy in there. Like that's what I'm saying. That's why these characters are so fucking good. And I think you know, there's a lot of savagery in Moon Knight's fighting. You know, there is a lot of savagery. But one element to Moon Knight's character, and if there is a time when they don't want to use Moon Knight anymore, you can't kill him. He's damn near invincible. Like Moon Knight is incapable of staying dead. Anytime Moon Knight has been killed, you know, whether it was to save the day or whatever, Khonshu basically, you know, reincarnates him. So it doesn't matter if, you know, he's killed. He won't stay dead. And I think in one of the things, it said he'd been resurrected twice in one of the runs. But, you know, you can't kill him. You just can't. And Moon Knight starts out as a villain. This is why people are going to complain about this show when it drops, because they're going to be like, I thought he was a hero. No, he starts out as the bad guy, and then he changes. But he's not the bad guy as in antagonist. He's not the villain. He's just bad guy as in he wants to do good, but he'll do good by kill. He'll do good. No, he wants to do good by doing bad things. That's essentially what his character is. Yeah, I mean, comic books are always changing things. There's so many different runs of so many different characters now. But yeah, honestly, I can see so many people complaining about this movie when it drops. I really can see that. I can really see people complaining about it. Oh, it's too dark. Oh, it's too violent. Oh, it's too psychological. Oh, it's too this. I don't get it. Is he crazy? Is he not? Yada, yada, yada. I thought he was a good guy. Why is he hurting people? Like, that's the point of the character. That's the point. And honestly, when the first episode drops, I'm telling you lot, don't be surprised if the whole first episode goes right over people's heads and they start saying, I thought he was supposed to be a hero. Yeah, because it's called a character arc. Dumbasses. Sorry, I hate to be condescending like that sometimes, but some people just don't get it. Like, it's like with Boba Fett at the minute. Don't get me wrong, the latest episode of Boba Fett, I didn't really enjoy. I'm going to be straight up, I really didn't enjoy it. I thought it was like, oh, God, here we go. The best thing about it was Danny Trejo. That was it. But overall, it's you know, I think people are so used to binging TV shows and movies that they're not used to how things used to be. Like, you remember when Miguel snaps his back in episode 9 of season 4 of Cobra Kai? Imagine that happening on a week. If the show was released on a week-to-week basis, imagine that was your cliffhanger. Everyone remembers the Walking Dead cliffhanger of season 6. You remember that one? Where, and then we'll start. You can breathe. You can blink. You can cry. Hell, you're all going to be doing that. And then they cut it. They don't show who he kills. And then you have to wait till season 7 to see who he killed. Yeah, like, people who say this show's going to flop, the people who say that it's going to flop, you still watch it anyway. So you're the idiot. It makes no sense. I don't understand why people want things they love to flop. I really don't get it. Like, don't get me wrong. You can not like stuff. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. A good example to use is The Flash. Let's say, for argument's sake, the movie's good. Then, okay, I'll eat my words. They pulled it off. I don't think it will. But, you know, I'll eat my words. They pulled it off. But it's not like I want the Flash movie to be bad. It's not like I'm going in there to say, oh, man, I want this movie to be so bad. I want Michael Keaton to be, Billy Joe Batman's not my Batman. He's just a guy in a something. You know, like, I don't want to be seeing Punisher Batman and going, oh, here we go again. You know, or awkward teen angst Flash. I want to enjoy it. I want to hope that I'm wrong, you know? And Boba getting high on the yes, that was funny. Yeah, it's not like, it's only the first season. Like, it took us 2 seasons to get Luke Skywalker and Mandalorian 2, like Mandalorian season 2. But it's like people are just expecting way too much. It was only going to be what it is. Like, the show is literally called The Book of Boba Fett. I think people are setting their expectations way too high for things. And I know someone asked me about that for Venom 2. I said, no, Venom 2, my expectations weren't even high to begin with. My expectations were average at best. And they still didn't deliver. Like, I don't know how. God damn it. Yeah, like, it's ridiculous. Why do you want movies and shows to flop for things that you love or care about? It's stupid. It makes no sense. It's just like, do you love this thing or do you not? Like, do you just love saying that you can hate something? Like, you got so much anger in you that you just want something to be bad. Like, I mean, come on. I mean, obviously, when I do it with me and the guys on Sundays, we're just saying it in banter. It's just satire. We don't actually mean it. You know, we want The Flash to be good. But this is where context and nuance are important, is that based on previous events, DC have shown time and time again that they are incompetent as hell, and a Flash movie rebooting everything is not the way, because they're going to fuck it up. Moonknight doesn't feel like Marvel, and then not explain what that means. Yeah, they're just going to say it doesn't feel like Marvel. And then what will happen is you'll get something like, I don't know, fucking Spider-Man. Oh, Spider-Man now feels like Marvel. But then they'll change their mind about him a movie later. It's like character arcs, people. Character arcs. Yeah, how was Hawkeye woke? I don't get it. Like, Yelena and Kate were bad to the bone. Like, I mean, shit almighty. Like, good God, that was stupid. That was absolutely stupid. You know, and one thing I am learning with this platform and this space is to be, you guys hear that? Fucking hell, the police are coming for me. Jesus. Is that we want these things to be good. We care about them. Especially me in particular. I mean, this is my channel, isn't it? So I when I have the guys on as guests, like I love having them on. But at the end of the day, still the chosen one to put the nuance into shit. So, speaking just purely on behalf of me, like I don't want these projects to suck. I want them to be good. I want to go into a cinema, see Venom 3, for instance, and be proven wrong. But when you have Venom 2 as your backing point, like, I am a big believer in, you want to see what something looks like in the future, you look to the past. You don't live in the past, but you can use the past as a good reference point to see where things are going to go. And one thing that always sticks out for me is if I'm sat there in Venom 3, wanting it to be good, I've got Venom 1 and 2 as my proof. Just saying. But then you've got another situation where you've got Andrew Garfield, for instance. Amazing Spider-Man, decent. Amazing Spider-Man 2, visual spectacle, badass, emotional, story all over the place. Things are a mess. But then you get No Way Home Andrew Garfield, and you're like, oh shit, now this is awesome. See what I'm saying? Yeah, I think the problem is because people cannot discern a Mary Sue type character that's brought in just to please people versus a character that is actually well written, great, nuanced, and someone we care about. Like anytime there's a strong female lead, everyone just shits their pants and goes, "Ooh, it's like, all right, well, would your balls shrink up? Like Christ Almighty, like you still got your balls down there, haven't you? Like, good God, like good grief." But, you know, again, there are exceptions. There are times like Captain Marvel where it's just cringe. But hey, I mean, if people like that movie, then they like it. It's just a good example. Exactly. Boba knows trying to rule through fear doesn't work. It creates enemies and rebels. It's what brought down the Empire. Respect gets people on your side. You're damn right. It's just a simple man trying to make his way through the galaxy. Exactly. I mean, don't get me wrong. I still think I want to see more of Boba Fett being a cold, heartless bastard. Excuse my French. I want to see him be callous and take no prisoners. But I think, you know, we're seeing an evolution of that character. I think that's what we're seeing. And the flashbacks. I mean, hell, don't be surprised if you see a flashback to Jango Fett in the show. Like, honestly, I think they're going that route. The amount of teasing they've done with Camino and young Boba, and seeing his father leave, I would not be surprised if you see a flashback to young Boba talking to Jango Fett, de-aged, and then it cuts to the Patraniki arena when Mace Windu cuts his head off. Like, they're going to make Jango Fett's death so emotional. I'm telling you, that's exactly what they're going to do. It was never real. It was never emotional, Jango Fett's death. It was just like, wow, Django unchained or Django beheaded. Sorry, I had to get that joke out there. If you know, because Django Fett, Django, Mace Windu, Samuel Jackson was in that one. Hopefully someone gets that reference. But it was just a cool death scene. It was like, wow. And then you see the helmet come off and the head come. You see the shadow of Django Fett's head come flying out, right? And Boba's holding the helmet, puts it against his head. My favorite shot of Attack of the Clones, right? Says so much. They're going to make that emotional as hell. Seriously, don't be surprised by the end of this season if you see a flashback to young Boba talking to Jango Fett, and Jango Fett says, look, you know, I'm new to this. I don't know how to be a father. You know, I want to be a father to you. What happens the next day? Whoosh! Honestly, they're going to make Jango Fett's death so emotional. I need to do a video on that. Because I'm telling you, I'm calling that immediately. Because this is the thing. I know everyone's expecting Mace Windu to show up in this show, but if Mace Windu is to show up, it's way too soon. Like, now is not the right time. Now is not the right time for it. I think this first season, at least the first season, is going to be more of a character study. It's going to be more of who is the character of Boba? Where does he come from? How did he get here? Why does he believe this? And reformatting it, you know, and they wouldn't go through all the trouble of reshooting flashbacks of young Boba with all this new detail if they weren't going to change something and make it better. And I think they're going to make Jango Fett's death emotional. I think, you know, the shots of him seeing Jango leaving Camino all the time, like an absent father, it wouldn't surprise me in episode 6 if there's a moment where Jango Fett, we see a flashback of Jango Fett, Tamora Morrison de-aged, talking to Boba, and he says, I want to be a father to you. I'm new to this, but I'm going to try my best. I just, you know, this is my final deal with Tyrannus, and then I'm done. Then we can go and do whatever, you know? Then what happens? 12 minutes later, whoosh, head off. Like, and then when Boba holds Jango's helmet, it's going to make it emotional as hell. Like, honestly, don't be surprised. Yeah. Oh, dude. 100%. I mean, look, this is the thing. If Mace Windu is to come back in Boba Fett, or if he is to come back in general, it has to be in Revenge of the Sith territory. There is no way you can make me believe that Mace Windu stays on the sidelines for 30 years. That's not Mace Windu. Mace Windu will be pissed off. Like, he'll be like, okay, you cut my arm off, give me a metal arm, let me go get my lightsaber. All right, Sheev, Anakin, oi, what's up? You know, that's exactly what Mace will do. Unless there's a real reason, you know, that they can manage to do it, then I don't know. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Moonknight. I think it's going to be a great show. I think there's a lot of potential there for it to really delve into that, you know, psychological, you know, aspect of the character that we haven't seen yet, and it's a level of maturity for the MCU. I feel it's a level of maturity that we haven't quite seen yet on screen, and it's one of the first projects where I think you're going to see barely any jokes. I think if they're playing it, if they're going to be smart about it, I don't want there to be any jokes. Like, there might be jokes back and forth between the multiple personalities, but I don't want there to be fart jokes every 2 seconds. Like, this is not that kind of show. Like, you see that mummy figure running towards him as he's getting in the lift. Like, you can't make that funny. Like, come on. He's running, he's like, and then he falls over or something, or then he makes a face. Like, no, get that out of there. We don't need that in there. But we've reached the 2-hour mark, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to go in bed. English. I'm going to go to bed. I can hear the birds chirping out the window. And yeah, I'm going to go and get some sleep. Only other way Mace can be brought in is World Between Worlds. But yeah, I think with the World Between Worlds, as cool as it was in Rebels, I think it's a double-edged sword, because now anytime something happens, everyone mentions that. Same with Ben Solo. Like, for Ben Solo, for me, you don't need the World Between Worlds. You just bring him back. Like, he's a dyad in the Force with Rey. They can rewrite it a little bit and just bring Ben Solo back without the World Between Worlds. But as far as Mace Windu, yeah, either he comes back after Revenge of the Sith or he stays dead. Like, you can't have me believe, you know, you can't have me believe that Mace Windu stays on the sidelines for 30 years. That's just not organic. That's not organic to his character. And if Palpatine gets wind that Mace Windu is still out there, the one Jedi that nearly took him down, he's going to want to axe him immediately. So, as poetic as it would be for Boba Fett and you know, Mace Windu to go head to head, I think having Vader take out Windu would serve more. But we'll see how that plays out. I mean, there is probably more seasons of Book of Boba Fett coming. Maybe they'll show a flashback. They could do a flashback to Boba Fett fighting a de-aged Mace Windu. They could do that. Because in Clone Wars, he tried assassinating him a few times. They could do that. But yeah. But I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they somehow make Jango Fett's death, you know, quite emotional. Like, don't be surprised in episode 6 of Book of Boba Fett. They're going to make that emotional as fuck. Like, I'm telling you. They really are. And it's crazy because Jango Fett's death has always just been a cool death. But then when you rewatch Attack of the Clones after, you know, getting through the lovely romance, when you get to Jango Fett's death part, it gives that scene a whole new meaning. It's not just, okay, Boba Fett wants revenge on the Jedi. That's why he becomes a bounty hunter. It's like, no, that was his father. He loved him as his father. And Jango wanted to be the father for him. Like that. So many emotions that they can pack. I'll tell you, I'm a fucking genius with these things. Honestly, don't be surprised if I've just called that again. I called most of Hawkeye. I said the dog would be homeless and be taken in. I said that Hawkeye would probably have a bunch of groupies. Like, and the mum would be part of the villain plot. I called most of Hawkeye, you know? I am pretty good. And yeah, the Kenobi show, dude, I'm doing watch parties to that, man. I'll be fucking crying. Oh, cheers, Whiskey Tango. Let me consult my list. Thank you for the kind words, Whiskey. Let me check. Daniel's next. And I'm going to talk about the missed opportunity with Daniel. I'm going to talk about that. What if Mace had amnesia? It would be still a stretch, man. It'd be a real stretch. Like, I mean, as much as Darth Maul being brought back is fan service, they at least explain it in a way where it's Night Sisters and it's magic, so you can kind of forgive it. Boba Fett has always been rumored to escape that Sarlacc pit from whether it's canon or legends. He's always been prophesized to escape it. Mace Windu, it's really tough. Like, if they do it, then, I mean, hey, I'm not against seeing Samuel L. Jackson wield that purple saber again, but it would have to be at the right time. Like, if you have him in Boba Fett's show, I would do it as a flashback. Personally, I would do it as a flashback. I would do it as a flashback. I really would. Maybe, but I tell you what, if Boba Fett takes out Mace fucking Windu, then dudes. But then you've really got to make me believe that Boba can take him out. That's another thing. Yeah, Crimson Dawn and Kira definitely all coming back. Yeah, I think they're going to do something with young Solo as well. Too much of your father's heart in you, young Solo. I killed Han Solo. When the moment came, I didn't hesitate. But look at you. All right, guys. Thank you all for popping in. This has been great. It's been fun reacting to the Moonknight trailer. Yeah, Samuel, I mean, he did say himself, we know the Jedis can fall from extreme heights. So I'm just saying, you know, it's possible. But thank you to everyone who's tuned in. Thank you to my boys, RJ, Darius, and King. I appreciate you, lads. And, oh, dude, Fancast, you're welcome, bro. I just hope that it went well for you, man. I hope that it went well for you. I mean, you know, it's always scary putting yourself out there. I mean, how anytime I do this, like, even before I come on, I always get jitters. Like, I'm like, oh my God, am I, you know, fucking hell, like, people are going to see my mug. But, you know, you kind of grow into your looks. I mean, I'm like, oh, I can't lie, I'm a handsome dude. But that's the ego coming in now. But yeah, man, honestly, full credit to you. Like, it's not easy. Like, it's really not easy to put your face out there, especially because you're putting it out there for everyone to see. And you cannot control how people perceive you. That's something that I've really learned as well, is that people see you how they see you, you know, and that's just the way it is. There's nothing you can do about it. So full credit to you. Can everyone do me a favor and raise a pint to Fancast in the chat? Please do that immediately. You're the man, dog. Honestly, Fancast, seriously, pat yourself on the back, dude. And that's not me being like condescending. Like, seriously, it takes a lot of balls to do it. It really is underrated how hard it is to put yourself out there on camera for people to see and scrutinize. But that's only, you know, the worst of the worst. Boba killing Mace could be weird because he couldn't take Luke. I know, it's so weird. And then you've got like Kenobi and Vader that are going to go at it. And then in like A New Hope, you've got them fighting like this. Like, it's like, ugh, it's weird. It's weird. Mace work for the Hutts. No. That's never going to happen. Mace is never working for the Hutts. Nope. Mace is the type of dude that he'll round up some survivor Jedi and go and hunt down Vader or Palpatine. Like, that's what he'll do. Have a good night and morning. Yeah, well, good morning all. It's going to be breakfast time in a couple hours. But thank you, lads, in the chat, and thank you, ladies, as well. And thank you to those watching. Moonknight looks sick. I can't wait for it. I hope you guys have enjoyed 2 hours of this greatness. Good night and good morning. Walking Dead is coming back. Boom. Can't wait to see Negan and our boy Sean. Isn't his name Elijah in the show? But yeah, I will see you all in another stream soon. I think, let me check. I think I got He's All That on Friday. It's gonna be fucking brilliant. God, the things I do for you lot. Yeah, so essentially, oh right, no, it's not. I've made a slight error. Yeah, so 22nd of January, He's All That. So, yeah, I'm going to be watching it on a lovely Saturday evening. God, great. Ugh. There might be a gaming stream across the next couple of days, but I'm not too sure. I'm going to spend today mostly working on videos for the rest of the week because, you know, I know everyone wants to hear all my thoughts on who have I got left. So I've done Amanda. Let me cross her off. God, that sounded like I've got, you know, like in Arrow when Oliver's got his list and he's crossing names off. It's like the way I say it's like I've got Amanda, cross her off. I've got Daniel, Kreese, Silver, Sam, Kenny, Kyla. Yeah, they're all coming up next, and Chosen as well. Yeah, I mean that. Yeah, fucking Darius, bro. Like Carl, that shit pissed me off. Honestly, that was ridiculous. But everyone, thank you all for tuning in. I really, really appreciate you. Marching forward to 7K, it's insane. Hopefully going to just keep chipping away. and keep trying to grow this space, because as much as, again, like, this is, as much as it's my channel, the chosen one, you know, I have like the other guys like Strike and TCK and the lads who come on, you know, and I'm trying to give back to people. I'm trying to grow others as well. And it's not my responsibility to, and it's not my job to, but fuck it. You know, I like to give back. I mean, hey, family, baby. You see that Dominic Toretto cross up there? I can't be asked to bloody go and get it. And just because I'm OCD, I'm going to end it on 2 minutes 10 exactly. There was one stream, I tried ending it bang on, I think, was it 4 hours or something? And I got it 4 hours and 1 second. It really irritated me. So I'm going to try my best to get it bang on the money. Bang on the money. So I'm going to do my absolute best. But yeah, Daniel's the next video coming, so I might have that either upload tonight or tomorrow. I'm not too sure. But if you haven't seen my Amanda video, go and check it out. But anyway, guys, I will see you all in another video soon, or another stream soon. Say a cringe line for the hell of it. You think I broke your heart? You broke mine too!